Hi everyone. This screencast will show us how to use a spreadsheet like Excel to help set out and do a budget for this question here. Now let's have a quick go through this. A couple plan to fly from Townsville to Brisbane for a 7-day holiday on Magnetic Island. The return airfare is $449 per person. Airport transfers to and from Townsville and Magnetic Island are $165 each. The tariff for their room is $285 a night, which includes breakfast. They think that lunch and dinner will be about $65 each day. They think they will spend $25 each day on other purchases, and we have to work out a budget. So there's a lot of different items here in this list. So I've set up some headings here in my spreadsheet. The item, the cost for an individual, the number of times that that item will be purchased or consumed, and then a subtotal. So let's start with the airfares. The unit cost, the return airfare is $449. Now at the moment that's just a number. If I press the dollar sign here on the menu when I'm on top of that cell, then it formats it as currency with a dollar sign and 2 decimals. Now, how many of these airfares do we need? It's a couple, so there are 2 people. And when it comes to doing the subtotal, I'm not going to figure it out myself. I'm going to let the computer do the maths for me. When I need, at the moment in my spreadsheet, I've got cells containing text, which are just there as labels to help me understand what's going on. I've got cells containing numbers, like this one, which is just a numeric value. This one's a numeric value as well, but I had it formatted for currency by pressing the dollar sign. Now, when I need Excel to do a calculation for me, I have to press the equals key as the first step in the new cell. Now, what do I want to work out the subtotal? I want this one, so I click on it. Notice that it inserts the letters B2 because that identifies which cell stores the numeric value. And I multiply, asterisk is the multiplication sign, and then I multiply by this number, so I've just clicked a left click on that cell, and when I press the equals or the enter key, it calculates the answer and stores it here. It's smart enough to realise that money multiplied by a number should be an answer in money. Now that's my airfares. The next thing is airport transfers are $165 each. So the transfers, $165. I'll format that as money. There are 2 people going on holidays. Now the nice thing about this is I can just, that little square in the corner, you notice how the cursor changes when I hover over that? If I hover there and then do a left click and drag that down, this cell, the B in the first one, it said B2 times C2. Because I dragged it downwards, it didn't change the column B or the column C, but it changed the references of the 2 to 3s. And that is actually looking at those numbers there, 165 times 2. So when I copy downwards, the formulas update to the next row downwards, which is just what we need. That's the transfers. The tariff for their room. Okay. That is $285, $285. Put that as money. Now, how many nights will they be there for? It's a 7-day holiday. They'll be spending 7 nights there. Although, if it's a 7-day holiday, it's probably only 6 nights because the 7th day is the day they go home and they wouldn't be staying that night. So that's 7 days, 6 nights. That's a little, could potentially be a trick, but that's okay. That's that one. That includes their breakfast. They think that lunch and dinner, well, meals are going to cost $65 each day. 65. Now, how many meals will they need? Well, there's 7 days worth of meals and there's 2 of them. So that's 14 meals. I wonder if we should consider that to only be 6 days worth. Perhaps we don't need to worry about the dinner on the last day because they would have flown home. So potentially that could be 12 instead of 14. Now, do you notice that when I change that to 12, the subtotal there updated? This is the great thing about spreadsheets. If I change my mind and say, you know what, that should have been 14, it updates the calculation. But I think 12 is right. If there's 6 days worth of holiday and they're buying their meals on holiday, they wouldn't buy breakfast on the day they fly up to Townsville, and they wouldn't have dinner bought on the day they come home. They'll have that at home. So I think we're fine there. That's the meals. The last thing is they think they will spend about $25 each day on other purchases. So this is probably things like gifts and souvenirs. $25 each day. Oops, need to make that one into money. And it's not really clear. They think they will spend about 25 each day. I think that's 25 combined. I don't think that's 25 each. So I'll put that down as 7 days worth. And there we go. Now the final thing I want to do is add all of these numbers here. When we have a large list of things to add, it's better to use the formula sum. I have to have an equals, I have to have the word, I have to have a bracket. Then I click and drag across the cells that contain those. It puts the references in for me. I close the brackets, and there's my total. I think that is what the couple needs for their holiday. Now, if I wanted to, I could highlight, let's just highlight this bit, and I'll do some borders. Let's do that. So I put a single line under there and a double line there, and this one down at the bottom. Maybe I'll just put a line above and below that, and this would be the total. So a label there helps. If I wanted to put that into a Word document, I can literally highlight it, copy it. Here's my Word document, and then I can paste it, and it all comes through nicely. Notice the grid lines aren't there anymore, and notice that the headings of the rows and the columns. So that's looking not too bad. It's probably better if the numbers here are centered rather than pushed across to the right. So I could always go onto these ones and center those, and I could do it again. The other way to do this is to print the selection. So I could highlight this, and I could go print, and it prints this. I only want to print the selected part. Notice the little bit at the corner disappeared then, and I could print that to a PDF, say. That's one possible way to do it. The other way I could do this, if I wanted to include the headings and subheadings in my report, as sometimes I do, I could use the snipping tool, the little snipping tool, and I could carefully take a screen grab of just the little bit I'm interested in, and this is good because it includes the row and column headings so that it's easier for me to explain in my report. So I can copy that, and I can pop over into Word, and then when I paste that in, it looks exactly as it did on the spreadsheet. Now, that's formatted nicely for including in a report, but that's handy if I was trying to explain how I did this. Both of those things are things you should do in your assignment. And the last thing I want to show you about this is the bits in here had formulas. So if I go up to the menu where it says formulas, and then I run across here, it says show formulas. Now it changes the formatting a little bit, which is slightly annoying. I can highlight these columns and I can drag them back to be a bit more normal sized. Those are no longer formatted as money. And when I'm showing formulas, do you see that it doesn't do the formatting for me? Because it's literally showing me the contents of what's in the cells. I can center these things. That makes it. Nope, I can't center the formulas. Can I center the numbers? Oh dear, I did something wrong. I'll cancel that. Can I center the numbers? Nope, I can't even center the numbers. So when I show formulas, it's literally showing me the bare bones of what's going on. The numbers are all just numbers, even though these ones I had formatted as currency, but importantly, the formulas are here. Now, if I were to do a screenshot of that little piece of my spreadsheet, I'll copy that, and I could pop that into my Word document. This gives me 3 different ways of transferring from my spreadsheet into my Word document. So this is lovely, beautifully formatted, and it's great for putting it in my report. This is good if I wanted to show the people reading my report how I laid out my spreadsheet, which cells contained which information. And this is good if I'm explaining to people in my report the mathematical formulas behind my spreadsheet that are doing the work for me. So all 3 of those would potentially be ways that you would want to include information from your spreadsheet in your report. Okay, that's enough for this screencast. Thanks for watching.